What is up the internet? Bilbo here. Today I want to show you guys how to farm an item called Ender Pearls. I've got a farm of my own design over here. It is nicknamed the Shucker, as you saw from the name of the title of the video. So first of all, I'm going to show you guys why in the first place you're even going to want to farm End Pearls. So an End Pearl is this little guy right here that I'm holding, this little ball of greenish turquoise color. When you throw one, as you just saw, you teleport to wherever it hits the ground. You can use these to cover incredibly far spaces very fast. If I throw that way the heck over there, I'm going to end over near those pearls, or those pillars. I can get even farther. This area I'm in here is another reason you're going to want End Pearls. To get to this place, this is called the End. This is where you fight the final boss, so to speak, of Minecraft, the End Dragon. This area right here. To find this place in the first place, you're going to want to get a bunch of Ender Pearls so that you can make Ender Eyes. The Ender Eyes are going to show you the direction that the End Portal is in. You're also going to need a bunch of those eyes to fill the portal with. To activate the portal, you have to fill it with Ender Eyes. So anyway, in other words, you're going to need a lot of these things. Now, since you're already here, you don't need the Ender Pearls for that. To actually fight the Ender Dragon, you've already done it. You've already been to this place. You've already got enough Ender Pearls to do that. But now you want them because you want to keep teleporting all over the place. I use these like crazy. I love using End Pearls. I'm on a realm, and we have about 10 people on the realm. And since I built this, all of my friends who are on the realm, they use the Ender Eyes like their End Pearls, like their candy. They throw End Pearls to travel everywhere. Walking is something of the past. So if you want to live that life, if you want to live your best life and teleport everywhere you go and never have to walk again, I'm going to show you how. This over here, way down here, is called the End Shucker. It's called that because shucking is what you do to a clam or an oyster. You shuck an oyster to get its pearl. So that's how it got its name. I named it myself. I designed this myself. And I'm going to show you guys how to build it. And I'm going to also explain to you a couple of the mechanics to show you why I did the strange things that I did. The first thing you're going to want to know is that you should build it about 120 blocks away from the end island. As you can see, this end island is just floating out in an abyss here. If you fall down there, you die. So why would I build it so far away from there? That's to control the spawning of the Endermen. The fewer Endermen that are alive in the world at any given moment, the faster they'll spawn. And I want them to spawn pretty fast so I can get more pearls pretty quickly. So you build it 120 blocks away from this island so that the Endermen don't just spawn on the island and they don't max out the number of mobs that are allowed to be alive and then stop spawning. Another thing you want to do is you want to build it pretty low. You want to take it all the way down to the lowest build point in the end. And I'll show you how to do that. There's a trick to that. It's actually kind of difficult. It's dangerous. You do not want to do this with a full inventory. Don't take anything that you want to keep on you. I just take a bucket of water and a bunch of dirt for this part. So what you're going to do is you're going to dump a bucket of water on the edge of the island here, the very end of the island. And you're going to swim down the water without falling out. I'm not going to show you the whole thing swimming down because it takes a little while. I'm in creative right now. I made a copy of my world and went into creative. And you're going to take the water all the way down. And as you're going down, you're going to... I should have done this from the very top to show you, but you're going to keep going down the water and keep placing these blocks as you're going down without falling out. See, like this. You know, you're gonna fall down and place one underneath that one. I'm falling. I need to get back up there. See, it's very easy to fall. I probably fell 5 or 6 times doing this. Until you get down to where, if I try to place another one, let's see, where did I get to? Right about, I'm pretty close to it. I destroyed a few of them since I got down here, but you're going to go down to the bottom of the build limit. And when you do that, you're going to build a straight line way out there to where you're going to build it. And that's going to be the very bottom of your build. That's going to be where you want to do the building. And the reason that is, I think I said it a minute ago, but I'll say it again. The lower you are down inside anywhere, the lower you are, the faster the spawn rates are. So that's the reason. So you're going to take it 120 blocks out and then take it down to the very bottom. Now the staircase here, you can build it however you want. I'm not going to do a step-by-step guide and show you how to do anything because you can decorate these things however you want, or you can not decorate them. You can make an ugly single block dirt path all the way out there if you'd like to. That's totally up to you. I did this this kind of this wall here. I just like the way it looks. It keeps me from falling out. I also what I like about this, if you have your elytra on, which I don't right now because I'm in creative, I don't have any of my normal items. You can actually fly down to this, and you don't have to walk at all. Or since you have an infinite number of end pearls now, once you build this, you just go ahead and TP down there. So once we get down there, I'll show you around. This is the end Shucker. It is made out of glass. That is not necessary. I did that because I like the way it's designed, and I like to be able to see the Enderman falling while I'm in here. So I'm going to go ahead and take it out of peaceful for a second. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what the rates are like once it gets started up. So we're going to put it onto hard, and they should start spawning here pretty soon. So let's talk about dimensions really quick while it's getting spooled up to show you how big this thing needs to be and how you're going to build. I did a 16 by 16 platform up here, and I did 2 of them. You could do more than that if you'd like to. If you like to do more than 2 platforms, that's totally fine. But they need to be more. They need to be at least 3 blocks high from the one underneath. The one underneath it, see here, this is not 2 blocks high. This is 3 high. I have just enough space to jump without hitting my head. The reason that is, Endermen are 3 blocks tall. They need to have 3 blocks to spawn. So if you do make more than 1 platform, make sure they are 3 blocks above the other. You can take this up 3 or 4 high. I don't know how high you can go for spawn distances. You can't take it up super high. Another trick here. So anyway, I'm sorry, 16 by 16 is what I did here for each one of these platforms. A trick that I did up here, these trapdoors, mobs never read whether a trapdoor is open or closed. They see this as a block on the floor that they can walk on. So the reason you're putting these here, when they do start spawning, right now I'm too close so they're not going to start spawning up here, but when they do start spawning, they'll just wander around aimlessly up here, and they'll think this is a floor, and they'll walk right down into it. And they'll fall down into it. Here's another trick that doesn't work. It's supposed to work in... It works in PC. I'm not sure why it doesn't in Pocket Edition. Endermen are not supposed to spawn on this kind of flooring, and I'll show you what it is. It is double carpet. I have carpet down here, and there's more carpet floating on top of that carpet. Mobs are not supposed to be able to spawn on that. Ever since a recent update, I don't know when it was, but they can now. I've seen all over online that they don't spawn on here, and when I first built it, it worked, but then it stopped. And see that guy, he spawned down on the lower one down there, actually. They're not supposed to be able to spawn on here. So what you can do is build it out of any given block, whatever block you want, and then fill it with water. And if you do that, it's going to slow you down when you're walking, but that it's worth it for the spawn rates. It's going to be worth it to keep the farm chugging along as fast as it can. You just saw one fall down there. Now let me show you what happens when he falls down here. There's a few of them down here. This is all full of water, and the reason we're going to fill that up there with water also is the same reason we're going to we filled this with water. Endermen die in water. Anytime they are touched by water, they die, and when they die, there's a chance that they will drop end pearls. Now you're not getting any experience from this because you're not killing them. The water's killing them. But so the top 2 platforms are 16 by 16. But inside here, these glass walls, I'm going to get from the outside so I can show you how I'm counting this. They are 12 by 12. And that 12 includes this corner to this corner. So the inside is 10 by 10. It's a 10 by 10 falling chamber. The reason I did 10 by 10 is this right here. That gives it exactly enough where the water is all going to meet in the center with a 2 by 2 4-hopper empty hole in the center where the water is motionless, and they'll just sit here and they'll just sit here and die, and they can't get out of it because if they try, the water pushes them right back in. If I'll show you where I place the water. When you put it in the corners here, each one of the 4 corners, let's see if one of them falls in here while I'm destroying the water, and you'll see what happens. If they do die, I don't know whether or not they're going to die from the fall. Let's see if one falls in here. Anyway, if they do die down here, now their pearls are not being collected anymore. They're just going to die on the floor. You could theoretically fill the entire floor with hoppers. Yeah, he doesn't even die anyway, so you'd have to make it a larger drop to do that. But we don't want that. We're going to make it very simple. We're going to make a system that's going to go ahead and kill these guys on its own while simultaneously collecting their pearls for us. So now they're dying, and the pearls are all getting pushed to the center. You just saw a pearl fall into that hopper there. That one obviously worked. So we're going to go ahead and fly back up on out of here now. So the things we talked about so far, the trapdoors are one trick. You have to make sure that they have something that they think they can walk on to fall through. The water kills them down there. And this floor right here, controlling the spawn rates, I have not done right, and I'm going to have to redo. Make it a floor, any kind of floor you want that is covered in water. Another thing you do is make it out of magma blocks. And when you walk on them, if you crouch on magma blocks, they don't kill you. Or you can just sprint across it and jump like a madman, you know, sprint as fast as you can across it. Or, again, you'll have ender pearls, teleport across. You won't have to worry about it. If you make a giant, like, hanger at the end to catch yourself, you can teleport across every time and never have to worry about it. So that right there, this is my favorite way to drop long distances. It doesn't matter how far the drop is. If you have a single block of floating water at the bottom, which I did by putting a sign underneath it, it'll catch you in your fall and you won't take any damage. So that's how I get down here. While I'm down here, these guys are not supposed to be spawning here. It's acting weird right now because I'm recording. It always does this on Pocket Edition when I'm recording. See how, and when I punch him, he's floating back up there because that's where he actually is right now. The game is it's just acting weird because it is Pocket Edition and recording. It won't do that while I'm down here 9 times out of 10. In fact, I've left the game on for hours at a time before I come back, and everything was running just smoothly. I had entire chests completely full of end pearls. I have all of these facing in the same direction. These are all facing into these 2 hoppers right here, so that it's all going to fill this chest first. So we've got 14 in there right now. It was empty before I started it. I made sure to empty it out. So it's giving me decent rates. If I leave this on for an hour, I'm going to get around, it's just under 100 is what I got last time. I think I got 96 when I left it on for an hour. This room down right here, it is very important. It cannot be 3 blocks high. It must be 2 blocks high exactly. So when you make this room 2 blocks high, so it's better to build from the bottom up when you're building this, so that you can make sure each floor is exactly the number of blocks it needs to be without accidentally getting down to the bottom build height and being like, oh no, I'm out of space. So you're going to start out with the floor. You're going to go 2 blocks up and then put the ceiling right above you, the 3rd block up. That way they can't spawn in here. Now, Endermen can't spawn in this floor because they need at least 3 blocks high to spawn. Now that I'm down here, the spawn rate is the fastest it's going to be. Nobody's going to be spawning out on the island. Nobody's going to be spawning anywhere except for up on top of that platform up there. They're right now, because of the update, they're spawning on the carpet as well. I need to fix that. When I come up with a fix for it and I have an exact design for it, I'll come back and I'll show you guys. That way you can unless you have a better one, and you can make an answer in my video and show the viewers. That way they can know exactly what they need to do down here. Nothing else spawns in the end other than Enderman. So I'm not worried about anything else getting me down here. Zombies, creepers, nothing can get me. The only thing I need to do is proof it from Enderman, and it is 100% Enderman proof. There's no way they can get in here. They can't damage me. They can't attack me. And they don't want to anyway, as long as you don't look them in the eye. So just to keep yourself safe, now that this guy's looking me in the eye, he's most likely, he wants to kill me, but he's going to die soon anyway. So I'll hang out down here, and I'll just look at the floor while I'm AFK. When I come back, I'll have a full chest if I've left it on for a few hours. An interesting thing to note about end pearls is that they only stack to 16. As you can see, it started another stack there. It doesn't stack to 64 like most items do. So if you want a whole lot of end pearls, if you want to make this thing collect thousands for you, you plan on AFKing all day or something like that, you're gonna need more than 2 chests. But I always come and collect them after an hour or so. So I fill it up to about, sometimes I go up to like halfway, and then I'll empty it out. And I have a second chest just in case, but I've never got that far yet. I have a chest back at my base that is, or 2 or 3 chests that are completely full of end pearls. Keep a couple of jack-o'-lanterns down here if you feel like it. It's not 100. It's not super important, but here's a little cool trick for you. If you wear a jack-o'-lantern on your head, you just put it on like a helmet. When you put a jack-o'-lantern on your head, Endermen won't attack you, so you can walk around safely. That way, when you're exiting here, when you're completely full of your end pearls, you're safe to get out of here without taking any damage. The best way in and out of here, I'm going to show you by flying because I don't feel like taking the time to do it now. But no, I will. I showed you earlier, I dropped down here by just jumping in this hole right here. I have signs every single block all the way down, keeping this water from spilling over here. A sign fills up the entire block so that the water can't spill into it. But so this last block is going to catch me. I'm falling through air this whole way until I get that last block of water, and that saves me. But if I step over to this side and I just hold A, I will swim up to the top. And these signs every so often, only one sign wide, not two signs, and I'll show you that by flying what I'm talking about. One sign in the middle of the water every so often will give you air bubbles so that you don't drown in it. It's not high enough to drown in anyway, but that was just for the sake of safety. You just hold A and you swim up to the top here and you can get out. So that's the whole thing. It's 12 by 12 here, 16 by 16 on the top, with these floorings in the middle, which are I think they're 5 blocks wide. 1, 2, 3. No, it's actually, I meant 10. I'm sorry. I think it's 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I was right because it lines up with the inside of that 12 by 12 there. As you can see, it's perfectly lined up here. The Endermen are going to fall straight down in here. They're going to fall right down into the water without landing on anything else and surviving. You can light this area if you'd like to. There's no reason to, though. And I don't know if it'll affect the spawn rate, so I wouldn't. There's no reason to light that up there. Just keep it dark and play it safe. That way you get the highest rates you possibly can. And that is the end of my video. If you guys have any questions, if I forgot to cover anything, if I missed anything. Oh, you know what? I did miss something. I missed materials. The materials don't matter. You can build this out of absolutely whatever you want to. I built it out of glass and stone because I kind of like the way it looks. I'm eventually going to change this stone out for purple so it matches with the end theme. It's all going to be purple, the purple blocks. And it's just kind of a status thing as well. You know, people like to build things out of purple when they have it. Once they've completed I did forget one other thing, guys, that I need to cover. It's actually pretty important for you. The distance that I made this was specifically made to maximize the spawn rate. I made the height of this so that it'll be the fastest spawn rates for you. This block right here is the floor they're going to be landing on. This is where the glass floor that I have in there underneath the water, and it doesn't have to be glass, like I said earlier. The materials don't matter. But from this block here that they land on to the block up here that they spawn on is 33 blocks. That's 33 from here down to there. 33 with, again, I'm going to reiterate this, 3 blocks in between here. And then that's only 1 block high right there. And then 2 blocks in between here for you to stand on, with 1 block as the floor. So 2 blocks high, then 33. The total height with all of that is going to be 39, 34, 35, 36, 37 if you include a second story. I recommend doing a second story just so that they have more places to spawn. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, make sure to leave a like. If you have any questions about the build, or if you want to make a request for any future instructions, leave them in the comment section below. Subscribe if you want to see any more videos like this. The more subscribers I have, the more motivated I'll be to make videos more often. Again, thank you so much for watching, guys. Have a good one.